GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
What's up, rockers? This is the rockstar Robbie Vegas, professional wrestler and host of the All Bets Are Off podcast. But right now, you're listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. So take it away, Chazz.
Here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. 1 on 1. Oh. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hit it. Hey, next up now. Eyes on three. Everything on 3. 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy, Chazz.
All I do is win.
That's not true.
Except this week.
And sadly,
Unfortunately.
not here today is the man, the myth, the legend. Jay Coleman is not with us today, y'all. He is a little bit under the weather. So
sorry to hear that, Jay.
We are stuck with the no nickname, no nonsense. What's your name?
It doesn't matter what your name is.
That'll never get old.
No, because it's going to happen every single time.
Hey, guys. What's up, Chazz?
What's up?
It doesn't matter what.
And running around, of course, we've got
Pickles on my pickles. Pickles on my pickles.
Hey there, little fella. Hey there, little fella.
Okay, so JJ's under the weather, so we don't want him getting us sick. I dealt with a little bit of food poisoning after the Bills game, I think, or 24-hour flu, but I'm back. I'm on the mend. I'm good. So if y'all think I was a little off in the Coffee with Chazz video, y'all were right. Because I was not myself. And people were like, "You're hungover." I'm like, "Maybe, but nah." You don't.
No, you can usually tell the difference between being hungover and food poisoning.
You don't throw up that violently, and well, I'm alive, allegedly.
Oh, yeah, in spirit.
That's how he felt, though.
I bet.
That's how I felt. Well, but our buddy Jay isn't here, but he left us a little message here because he did play me in fantasy football.
Did you have a matchup against him?
We did, and so let me give you guys a little backstory. Pull up our match on your.
Basically, Chazz talked a lot of shit.
Of course, I talked a lot of shit, and the shit is in the Coffee with Chazz vlog. But here's what I want to say.
He barely beat you too.
That's what I'm saying. So Jay's at the stadium, and he didn't have great reception, and I wasn't there yet. So he asked me, as the commissioner of the league, could you take out Zeke of my lineup and put in one of my backups? And I was like, okay, bro, your backups are all gross. You got James Cook. You got
Antonio Gibson.
He was
AJ Dillon. Oh, AJ Dillon.
So it was AJ Dillon. Who was his other two running backs on his bench? AJ Dillon, James Cook, JD McKissick, and there was one
and Kenny Gainwell.
Kenny Gainwell. He was like barf. So he was like, put in, I guess, McKissick. I'm like, you sure you don't want to do AJ Dillon? He's like, no, they're going to suck today. Put in McKissick. I'm like, that means you're starting both Gibson and McKissick. And then he was like, okay, put in James Cook. I'm like, wow. Are you sure? So what did James Cook score?
8.6.
What did JD McKissick score?
5.
So how many more points did James Cook score than JD McKissick?
3.6.
How many points did Jay beat me by?
Tell me it was 3.6. It's pretty close to 3.6.
2.7 or 3.6?
Okay, let's do quick math.
So maybe either way I would have lost out, but like just looking at it, Jay beat me by 3 points.
3.88. So the difference between
JD McKissick. So if I would have let him start JD McKissick
and Cook,
I would have won.
0.6.
I would have won by 0.2.
5, yeah.
Right? So
it's 3.6 points. You would have won by 0.2.
By 0.2 points. I would have won. So me being a nice friend and commissioner of the league.
You're just the best.
Let him go. And he beat me for it. Now,
just a little video.
I haven't heard this video, so let's see what this motherfucker has to say. Here we go.
What's up, Fantasy Football Bros podcast fam? It's your boy, Jay. Chazz
Come on.
sabotaged me this week. And I'm not going to be there for the pod, but I couldn't miss this opportunity to dunk on Chazz for him talking all that smack about how I wouldn't beat him this week. And then PJ gave him a whooping. So, hey, Chazz, get dunked on, bro.
PJ? You're bringing up PJ Walker?
They're on a first name basis.
I see that. Jay, you are a piece of...
After McCaffrey puts up 40.
Well, you know what I got to say, Jay? I had Christian McCaffrey go off. You had Jalen Waddle go off. We had the battle of great quarterbacks, PJ Walker versus Jared Goff. Epic.
Who are your other? Oh, you went Aaron Rodgers and you had
Ellinger. I wasn't going to start him, so I went with the right.
Imagine if you would have put Foreman in your lineup, though.
Well, we'll get to that later. But Jay, this is what I have for you, buddy. All I do is okay, whatever. But for me and all my shit talking and me leaving Dante Foreman on the bench and you get an easy win, this is for me.
Yeah, you earned that L.
That's
a big L for
That's
me.
for me.
I also lost this week.
You, Jay, by the way.
I played your brother,
who's now in first place.
I am in second place. I just couldn't get anything going.
I got to get this Jay ugly ass face off my screen.
The worst thing is I hate when there's a 0 in a lineup and I get absolutely dominated. It was from a kicker, but still.
He had a 0 and still beat you?
Yep.
Ooh.
He had a kicker from Carlson because Vegas stunk.
He beat you by 50, bro?
Beat me by 50.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was a rough one. ETN with no James Robinson.
Right, he's been on a tear.
Apparently DJ Moore needed PJ Walker.
DJ needed PJ? Or did DJ not need Baker?
I think he did not need Baker.
Because he's always been good.
Or Darnold.
Well, he was actually good with Darnold, too.
He was better than he was with Baker.
Yeah, he's been always pretty good, but with PJ, he's been great.
And then, of course, he's got Diggs.
Monster.
He's just an animal.
A manimal.
I accept my loss. I'm still in first. Or I'm sorry, I'm in second.
Yeah, no. Actually, I'm out of playoffs right now.
Do you want me to read the standings?
Sure.
We'll go with the standings real quick in the Fantasy Football Bros League. We have the Hitman, who's your brother, Dom.
All I do is
in first place. Me in second. Third is Cousins to Jefferson, which is John. And then we have the Irrelevance in fourth, which is Chad. And then the Soul Crushers, which is Chad's dad, in fifth. Always Ben Gay, who is Jay's bro, Eric,
who is that? So that's the end of the
that is
playoffs
the playoffs right now.
Not me.
Sixth place is when you make the playoffs. Christian Mingle, Chazz, our gracious host, won. Tied though, I believe. Right? I think I read that right.
I mean, we all have
4 and 4. Okay, you're one game behind, but you have a lot of points for.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw this, but you're over 1,000 points.
Yeah. Because you know what? I've lost 3 games by like less than 3 points.
That's true.
So I'm just.
And then we have Winston Scrab Legs in eighth with the entire Saints roster. And Camping Superstar Zach in ninth. Our other wonderful host Jay in 10th.
Hey there, little fella.
Joe Dirte moves up 1 to 11th.
And who's on the bottom there?
And country music superstar Eric Van Houten is sitting in 12th. I will defend him in one aspect, that his team is just absolutely decimated with injuries.
I have a team like that. So
feel for him, but not really.
He brought this on himself.
He did.
Dude, how is he? He's in last place. He's got Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but look at his running backs.
That's his fault. He drafted 3.
You're right. He did. But here's listen to this though. Javonte Williams, Breece Hall. Gone.
Right.
Season. See you later.
But that's what happens when you draft 2 of them. When you draft 3. And your third was Jeff Wilson.
You're right. I agree, but you also don't plan for injuries.
You should.
Yeah, but you don't plan for injuries.
If you went in with Javonte, if I was Eric and I went in with Javonte and Breece Hall,
you think later he should have drafted Gordon?
No way. Or Carter?
Nah, you don't draft like that.
Yes, you do. I think you do.
I don't.
I think you have to. You should, especially if you get a top.
If you get a guy who's often injured, maybe.
If you get a top flight running back that has a top flight backup. So going in to say like Christian McCaffrey, you didn't know who his backup was. So like Foreman, I'm getting lucky with.
Well, Foreman was picked up by them later on.
But there's a difference between Christian McCaffrey and Deontay Foreman, and say Melvin Gordon and Devontae Williams. So you know who the backup is there. It's kind of the same thing with Breece Hall and Michael Carter at that point. I just feel, or if you went in with Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, I obviously think has changed. But in general, like I feel that way with one of those top flight ones. So that's where I would have went. Chubb and Hunt. Not Hunt, because Hunt was like drafted as a starter.
Right.
By me.
But so was Dylan, though. Dylan was also drafted as a starter by Jay. And
me and like 3 other leagues.
Right. So he's just decimated. And now Cooper Kupp didn't practice today. He's looking slim. Could be a trade in there for country music superstar.
I'm trying. He likes to send me one text a day though. So
yeah, well, that's what he join the club because you're on. You just entered the list of who he texts back first, and it's when he scrolls through his text messages and he remembers who he didn't text back yet.
I get one text a day from him.
That's about what I get too.
You stupid son of a.
Yes, I guess it's just one league. So.
Well, to go along with my theme song, here's your theme song, country music star Eric Van Houten.
Yeah, it's a tough one for you, kid.
And you know what, for my brother?
Beat the wheels off me.
So, good job, Dom. All right. Sure. You know what I have to say after this trade deadline?
Oh, my God! They've killed Kenny! You bastard!
I don't know if they did, though. Did they?
Getting rid of their arguably most talented receiver.
You're right. Okay.
Right? Arguably.
Yes. If we're going based on talent, sure, I go with Claypool all day long.
Yeah,
and then
Deontay's a great
Deontay Johnson's a great,
and you have to see what happens with George Pickens.
And so far, Pickens has shown flashes of greatness. Sure. Right, that's a good move for them. They don't have to pay him. He would have been a lot of money. They don't like to pay
anybody. Yeah.
Well, they paid Deontay in the offseason.
For 2 years, I think, only, right?
I think it was an extension. Yeah, you're right.
I think it was only 2 years. So
it was a short contract. But
that's how they are. You're right. They didn't pay, they paid Brown, but they didn't really pay Mike Wallace. They didn't pay Emmanuel Sanders.
They didn't pay any of those guys.
So
they didn't pay Juju, obviously, because he's no longer there.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know what the Steelers were doing there, but I mean, the draft capital, I guess. I mean, draft another one, I suppose. Now, like I was saying, they don't have to pay Claypool now.
Every 2 years.
Right.
Deontay Johnson was a 2018 second-round pick.
Right.
Trace Claypool was a 2020 second-round pick.
Right.
A 2016 second-round pick was Juju. Yeah. So 2022 second-round pick was Pickens. So it's like, that's just what they do.
That's their MO. They wait till they get guys. I mean, they've all been good talents.
Well, how do you guys go with second-round receivers?
Unlimited.
That's it. So Claypool's gone. They don't pay him, and now they have Pickens on his rookie deal.
I think it's a great addition for Justin Fields.
I agree.
Maybe not this year.
He's 100% their number one receiver in Chicago now.
Oh, easily. Well, I don't want to make the comparison, but it's like you get Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Sure. You got Tua, Tyreek Hill. These guys, leveled up when that happened.
Absolutely.
So maybe that happens for Justin Fields next year. He still doesn't throw the ball well. He's running good.
No, he's running great.
But he's not throwing the ball.
No, he's not throwing. But he didn't play bad against Dallas.
No, but he's not. You
Dallas
don't look at him and
that game just got away from them, and it was wraps for them. But the week before that against New England, he didn't really throw the ball either.
It was going to say it's a lot of running where and that's fantasy points, which is great. But if we're talking real life football, I think Chase Claypool could be great for him because Justin Fields is the kind of guy that wants to run around and chuck it, and that's the kind of guy you want down there.
Agreed. With Claypool being a Bear now, you almost want to say that, of course, maybe they want to throw the ball more, and which is why they did that. But I think they kind of figured out what Justin Fields is good at and started designing more runs. I said this last week on the podcast, and the reason why I picked him up to fill in for me this week when I had Mahomes on a bye, is that his running ability is just he's a big quarterback.
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
Hmm?
He's not this small guy like Kyler Murray and even Jalen Hurts is not.
No, Jalen Hurts is a big dude.
He's tall, but he's not that big. I don't think.
Well, that's the same things you were saying with me that I was saying about Trey Lance earlier in the season too. Yeah. So it's like that's the new era of quarterback.
So they definitely figured something out there with Fields, and we'll see if they win some games. But they traded away their defense, so I don't know what they're doing there.
I'm not super in on Fields. I mean, I drafted him.
I'm not either.
I drafted him in this league thinking he would unlock and run more, but he hasn't, and he started. So cool.
Yes, you're right. They didn't start that way, and now they're going in that direction.
Yeah.
Good for them.
It shouldn't have taken you
him 8 games. I agree.
With a new coaching staff to realize that Justin Fields runs.
And is good at it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
It could be worse. I mean, they could have Matt Canada as
True.
A couple of backup running back moves. Jeff Wilson moves to backup
Mostert again in
Miami. Which
good move for them.
It's fine for Miami.
And they got rid of Chase Edmonds,
who now is over in Denver. Who maybe could be starting because they don't seem to like Melvin Gordon.
I don't know, but they gave Latavius Murray a lot of carries last week.
Yeah. But also it just also feels like it feels like Chase Edmonds is like done, and that was like
I think so too.
A throw in because that was the trade for Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
So now Bradley Chubb moves to Miami to chase Josh Allen in defeat.
Right.
Wilson backs up Mostert, which Mostert could be injured. So if you're a Mostert, manager, you might want to pick him up if he's out there. I did drop him where I had him in a couple leagues. And Edmonds, I don't know. Nah, bro.
Nah.
I mean, I'm going to hang on to him because I have him, but
I'm staying away from everything Denver.
I have Edmonds in a few leagues. I'm still going to hold on to him now just to see.
You hang on to him for a couple weeks
just to see what happens there in Denver. The biggest two trades, though, we got to talk about. Well, I don't know if it's a big trade for fantasy football. What is your take on the trade of T.J. Hawkinson moving over to the Minnesota Vikings?
I believe Minnesota is one of the worst teams in the league as far as target shares to tight ends.
So looking good.
Probably not a good move for them, but T.J. Hawkinson is very good.
But here's the thing.
Adam Thielen's hobbled. He comes up healthy.
Jay, relax. Jay, calm down. He
keeps getting hurt in game, which is a problem.
Which is normal.
Irv Smith just went to IR.
Yep.
So good move for them because I don't even know who their backup is. Who knows? So adding Hawkinson, a guy who can get open in the middle of the field, it could be good for them.
I just think
it could open up.
I think for
Justin Jefferson
Hawkinson, it's a lateral move.
I agree. I would agree with that I'm TJ Hawkinson going, okay, I am no worse off in Minnesota than I am in Detroit.
For the people surrounding him, for the Hawkinson move, you tell me you agree, disagree. Hawkinson moving over there for Hawkinson, lateral move.
Agree.
Okay, for Kirk Cousins, lateral, nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it affects him at all.
I think it's maybe a slight negative for Justin Jefferson, but probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think it's a negative for Jefferson at all. I think it only benefits them more in the red zone.
I think if anybody, it benefits Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift.
Agreed.
Because I think those guys are going to get more
didn't
catches.
Practice again today, by the way.
When he comes back, he'll get more catches.
I'm just saying.
I know that guy's made of glass.
I know. Neither did Jonathan Taylor. So
yeah. So that guy.
And, speaking of Jonathan Taylor, into our next trade. His backup was just traded.
Well, we can do this as a 2-1 because.
How about them Bills, baby? Let's go.
How about them Bills,
3:58 p.m. I think it was you, or maybe it was in another group chat, but I want to say it was you. It was like, wow, we did nothing at like 4 o'clock, and I was like,
It wasn't
okay.
Me.
It was maybe
it wasn't me because I know Brandon Bean's history of trade deadlines, and it is 5 minutes until the deadline.
So okay, I must admit, and when it first happened, I felt a little let down.
I did too. Only because I hadn't heard about the Dean Marlowe trade away.
I didn't really care about picking up a backup safety. All the Bills fans are going crazy about picking up backup safety. Relax. Dean Marlowe was our backup 3 years ago, and he's our backup again. So I wasn't getting excited.
He is, but
it's just a depth piece. Great.
Poyer might be dealing with a lingering issue that we don't know about yet. So we'll see what happens.
Backup safeties, whatever.
Welcome back, Dean.
In general,
I'm happy with it.
But there was Bills fans already complaining.
There's always Bills fans complaining.
People were talking about Akers, or people were talking about Hunt. And I had my eye on Hunt just because of his pass reception and his big. And I didn't really consider Nyheim Hines.
I never really thought about him either.
And so at first I was like, I did not want Cam Akers whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Nothing. There was a little tease about Josh Jacobs. Obviously, we would have loved that.
Yeah, that would have been beautiful.
But Nyheim Hines renders, I think, James Cook almost useless this year.
I agree.
Because he's better than James Cook right now.
Sure, at the moment.
He's one of the premier pass catching
established.
He's one of the premier pass catching options
rookie,
in the league, right? So we were upset then when the J.D. McKissick thing went down. Nyheim Hines is better than J.D. McKissick.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, world's better.
So
I agree.
So we got one of the most premier, probably top 5 in pass reception running backs in the league now,
I agree
which is what we wanted. And a hell of a punt returner.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that was really the appeal of Nyheim Hines as opposed to a J.D. McKissick or Kareem Hunt. It's his kick return ability as well, because he was fielding punts and kicks for them in Indy.
Yep.
As well as backing up Jonathan Taylor. Thank you. Looks like Jay won that trade.
Yeah, for now. And Gibson had a good week, too.
He did have a good week, I know. He beat you. Don't worry, Jay. I got you. I'm going to keep bringing it up every now and again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Now, now that I have a day to think about it.
Yeah. I like it more.
I like it more and more.
And you can't lie. Pat McAfee got you hyped about it, too.
He might have.
He was hyped about it.
Was he? I didn't even.
He's
see the clip. But he's a big hype guy for the Bills, though,
and for the
loves
Colts.
the Bills. Yeah,
but like just thinking about it more, we were talking about wanting to get a pass catching running back. We got a premier one. I mean, you got Christian McCaffrey, Austin. Hey, Pickle.
What are you doing in there?
Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler. Those are some of the best.
Agreed.
I mean, Nyheim Hines is right up there.
Sure.
I mean, he's not as good of an overall running back. But then I saw somebody else's tweet saying, obviously, like, Nyheim Hines is signed. So next year, our 1 and 2 could be James Cook and Nyheim Hines.
It could be, yeah. But this is Devin Singletary's last season.
Right. So
last year on his contract.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, that's not bad.
And Hines is cheap.
But the thing that threw me off is we traded for a 6th and got rid of, thank God, Zach Moss for him. Why not give up that 4th to get Hunt? But at the same time, 4th round draft picks are valuable in this Bills organization. And you have Nyheim Hines for another couple years.
And I agree. And I've seen a lot of people bring up that point too. And it's, well, why didn't we, Cleveland was only asking for a 4th round for Hunt and this and that. And it's like, well,
apparently nobody else wanted him.
I guess nobody else wanted him, but for a 4th round pick?
It's not like the NBA of a rental player.
And I agree with you that, and the Bills love their draft capital.
Yeah.
So, and we have 2 5th round picks. I forget who we got the other one from. It was in a trade that we made
for a couple years ago.
Yeah. So we have extra 5th round pick. So that's 6th round pick. Yeah. See you later.
Yeah. So you know what?
Name a 6th round draft pick on the Bills right now.
Probably like Tyler Bass.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing well. I mean, you got to remember Davis is a late pick. Shakir's a late pick.
Right, but not the 6th round though.
Dane Jackson's a late pick.
True.
DeMar Hamlin. But you know what? Big baller Bean.
All I do is win.
Congratulations.
Another trade deadline down. I like it.
So I'm happy with it
too.
So,
like I said, a day to think about it. I like it more and more.
So, all right, Adam, let's start it off with, and you can start it off with.
Oh, man.
What?
I'm so high right now. I have no idea what's going on.
I'm so high right now. And the reason being is because I don't know what Yahoo is doing with these damn projections. It drives me nuts when I see a guy who's projected 20.32. I'm looking at Austin Eckler, right? And then I click on his name and I see this fearless forecast. And I look at it and it says 5.1 receptions. I don't know where 0.1 receptions comes from. 108.1 total yards. Okay, sure. I guess they're adding every inch. And he's projected to score 0.7 touchdowns. But okay, so hear me out. Now this says 17.4 projected points. Okay, add this up. 5.1 receptions is what?
5 points.
5 points, right? Catch. Doesn't give me any. So, and it's total yards here for that 108.
So we'll say 110. So that's 11.
So we'll say 108.
Okay,
108. That's where it is.
10.
So that's 10.8
so
points.
15.8.
15.8 points and 0.7 total touchdowns.
So,
Whoever does these projections? Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Your math, first of all, isn't even right.
Yep.
You're giving me one number here. And now if I click off and I look at the projection total, 20.32, where do you get these numbers from?
That's true.
I'm the only thing that I can think of is that Yahoo is not advanced enough to realize you changed your settings for the way that you score your league.
Yeah, maybe.
And that is literally the most standard scoring you could think of.
Well, maybe they're projected in, because we get a 2-point bonus for 40-yard play. Maybe they're projecting a 40-yard play.
I don't know what they're projecting, but they have. If you do the math and you look at all these projections, you have 3 different totals. So I have no idea what's going on over there.
That's a high one, yeah.
Yahoo stat projections there. So y'all must be high over there. If you guys are hiring, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Well, my this is going to be a quicker episode because Jay's not here.
Jay's not here, so we only have 2 of us today. That's okay.
My I'm so high right now is going to me, and a decision I made starting Raheem Mostert over Dante Foreman, which going in, Raheem Mostert's been pretty well.
He has been
well.
He's been playing well.
12-something points a week.
Sure.
Dante Foreman had one good week, right? Yeah, so you go with Mostert playing, a shitty defense. Mm-hmm. Going in there, he gets fucking 7 or something.
8 points, yeah.
And I believe Foreman had 30-something, 31, somewhere around there. So
do you have both? You have Mostert too? You do have Mostert, right?
I started Mostert over Foreman. Okay. So
week 8?
So now...
Yeah, Mostert had 7.7.
Yes.
And Foreman sitting on your bench with 31 points.
So that's a 24-point difference?
Yeah.
And Jay beat me by 3? So...
Yikes.
So...
You are super high right now.
Like I have to say, Raheem Mostert over Deontay, what's his name? Donta Foreman?
Donta Foreman. Yeah, he must have been super high on that one.
You know, the sad thing is like, and I started Foreman in another league too, like, because I knew he was going to have an okay game.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, okay game, like 10 points. And you want to talk about projections, Adam? Actually, let me get on your eye. Go to my team this week for projections. Dante Foreman scored 30 points in a row, two weeks in a row. What is his projected points this week?
8.7.
What?
I know, for a starting running back.
What?
8. This is my point.
8 points.
This is my point. Like, you have these guys who are now projected in, like, thrown into starting roles for being starting running backs, wide receivers. Like, look at Tyler Boyd. There's no Jamar Chase. Hold on, I have Boyd.
He's got to be about 13, I would say.
Tyler Boyd, 12.9.
Little low.
It's a little low for what?
8 points from a guy that just scored 32 times in a row.
I agree.
That's what's upset. I'm jumping on your for that one.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what they're doing over there at Yahoo.
It's called drugs.
Absolutely.
It is called drugs. The good stuff.
Yeah, the really good stuff because their math is very, very wrong. And I don't know what they're seeing.
So
a guy that scored 30 plus points 2 weeks in a row. 8 points,
and he's a starting running back. He's not hurt. Chuba Hubbard's come back. Ooh,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So dumb.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't get more than 15. 15 is probably where you're aiming for. You want 20, obviously.
Well, there's also always big I noticed because I'm in a couple leagues on Yahoo and a couple leagues on NFL.com too. Some of their projections are just completely off on one side or the other. Like I think last week it was like DeAndre Swift had like 8 points projected in one league in one of the formats and like 17 projected in the other.
Yeah.
Those are the two major platforms.
It's crazy. I know.
Those two major platforms. I always stick with Yahoo just because I guess it's comfort. I've been on it forever. But Sleeper's pretty good too.
I like them both.
I like Sleeper's like the up and coming dog.
Absolutely.
Man, we are flying through this.
I know. We're doing great.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you happy to have
Kermit the Frog
back on your team?
Yeah, I definitely need him. I was okay. You know what though? I like Justin Fields. Actually, if you want to get into victory lap, we can segue that way.
Time for victory lap.
Yeah, victory lap for me this week. Even though I lost, I started Justin Fields, and my victory lap goes out to the Bears.
Okay.
And even though they lost big in Dallas.
So your victory lap, because you lost and the Bears lost. Okay, go on.
Well, that's not the victory lap. The victory lap is that the Bears finally figure out how to use Justin Fields.
That's true, yeah.
He's been playing great football. He doesn't throw the ball a lot, which is fine. But they like I said before, and I hit on this last week and a little bit ago. They're designing runs for him. He's getting outside the pocket. He's just a run around and throw it guy, like you said. And adding Claypool, that's going to be great for them. So my victory lap goes out to Matt Eberflus.
Bless you.
Thank you. For finally figuring out how to use their QB1 in a way that he should be used. So
that everybody in the fucking world knew. Everybody in the fucking world knew how to use.
But here. That's the scheme now for quarterbacks in the league. Look, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, all these guys. Kyler Murray is.
Hey there, little fella.
I prepared myself. I prepared myself to laugh early because I knew you were going to hit the button, and I choked myself. Unlimited. And even Russell Wilson, early on in his career, was that way. So, yeah, no shit. So good on them. Victory lap goes out to them for finally figuring out their quarterback situation and how to use them in the correct way.
Well, I mean, how crazy would, like, it just took too long. I would be upset.
I agree. It took forever. And this is what, 4 years now for Fields? 3 years now? I think?
How's this as a new Russell Wilson sound drop?
That's about right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's dog shit.
Oh, boy.
And they did win, but they played Jacksonville. Right. Awful.
This sucks because my victory lap we already just kind of discussed, and that's Nyheim Hines and Dean Marlowe. Like I said, we got the depth at the safety, but one of the premier passing running recepting. What am I saying? I'm so high right now.
Oh, you are so high.
I'm so high right now. One of the premier pass catching running backs in the NFL coming to the Buffalo Bills. Underrated by us even. Like, for real. So, like, and I know we already delved into it a lot. And it's going to be a fast episode, but that's okay, because last week's was a lot longer.
Yeah, we went a little overboard.
We went about $1.20 last week. Yeah. We tried to keep it about $1. This is going to be 40.
We stopped at about 60 minutes, but we kept going for some reason.
What did you say? Yeah, man, we stopped and then we kept going, man.
Yeah, we stopped and we kept going.
Yeah, man. Oh,
we tried to. Didn't work out. Too much fun with the Stream Deck.
I love the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck.
The Stream Deck?
I'm going to introduce everybody to a character in our lives. Like, Jay doesn't know him, you don't know him. His name is Italian Tom. This is an old Italian guy that lived across the street from where we used to work. And we're still friends to this day. And he's I mean, when I say old Italian man, he immigrated from Italy in his 20s. So he's like a 60-year-old Italian man. He's talking like this all the time.
Very nice.
He has this problem. And this is a great story. In his English speaking, he's fluent in English, but he has problems with I's and E's. Sure. He crosses I's and E's. So we were just talking one day, and he's talking about I love it the summer. I go home and I sit on my dick all the time.
He meant deck.
He meant deck. And that was it. So, Tom, Italian Tom goes home and he paints his dick.
I love accents.
Oh, so it's great.
I think they're great.
Yeah, that's not making fun of him.
Not to make fun of him.
Literally what he says.
I'm literally not making fun of him.
No.
It's just, they're great.
We make fun of Italian Tom to his face.
I wish I had an accent.
Some people would say you would. We have that Western New York accent. It's called, normal speak.
Right. English.
English. Oh, my goodness. This is going by so fast. But
instead of square, goes down the middle, slam dunk.
Get dunked on, bro.
And this can also go with mine. Because it's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals. I knew you were going to dunk on the Bengals this week. You're a hater. I don't know what's worse, the Bengals or Russell Wilson.
Unlimited.
Anyway, why are we dunking on the Bengals, Jazz?
Bro. Are the Browns a good team?
Absolutely not.
What the fuck was Monday Night Football?
It was bad. It was hard to watch football.
Look, I get it. You don't have Jamar Chase. Oh, we have guest coming.
Pickles, all my pickles.
What's up?
Where's she at?
Get on TV. Yeah.
There she is.
Pickles, all my pickles.
Well, she should be.
He should be. Well, if you're not, she's here. You can trust her. She's here. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah,
she's taking Jay's place today. The Bengals and their head coach Zach Taylor.
So I wasn't watching the game. Truth be told, that was the day I was dying.
You didn't miss anything.
That was the day I was dying,
except for the Browns score 38 points.
So I'm sick. I'm dying.
Oh my god.
I'm laying in bed, and I decided to look at my phone, and I look at the score, and I see it was like 32-0 or something. I just assume. Honestly, I assume it's the Bengals winning.
Then you look at the helmet next to the 30.
I didn't even notice that because what I did is I looked at Tyler Boyd because I had him in a league, and at that point he only had like 2 points, right? And I was like, huh. And then at that point, T. Higgins also had like 2 points, and I was like, huh. And then I knew I had Hayden Hurst on my bench, and he had like 1 point. And I'm like, what? And then I look at the opponent I'm playing, who had Mari Cooper had like 24 points at the time. I'm like, no, there's no way. And then I look
Nick Chubb had 2 touchdowns again.
But I didn't even and then I was like, are you kidding me? Like it was like the third quarter.
Let me tell you what the Bengals defense looked like. Yeah, that's about it. They looked like they didn't want to be there. They couldn't stop anything. There's Pickles.
You want to take
Pickles, all my pickles.
You standing in for Jay?
Pickles, what are you doing?
Standing in for Jay.
Oh, get out of here, you nasty girl. Oh, look at my shirt now.
Oh, jeez. You're a mess.
Furball. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on. Tell me about...
They looked like Swiss cheese. Okay, so do you ever... Remember in high school football when they had the banner and the team would run through it and it would just instantly rip open? That's what the Bengals defense looked like. The Browns shredded them.
Yeah, but that's with a great offense, right?
Apparently, Jamar Chase is everything.
Because
they literally went.
But Adam, but they have Joey Swag.
Yeah, he's great.
And Adam, they have T. Higgins. And Adam, they have the best running back in football.
You mean the most boring?
But Adam, they have a young, fiery head coach who's exciting.
I got you.
Am I drinking tea right now?
I hope so.
Wait for it.
Kermit the Frog here.
Because that's what it feels like. Because don't tell me I didn't call this shit. Now, it's not too much slander on Joey B.
The thing that sucks,
Joey B's great.
Oh my god, it's just.
But are you just
one week they look so good?
That's how they always were.
And then the next week they just
played good.
Awful.
They played good for 3 weeks in a row last year.
Awful.
And that happened to be the playoffs.
True.
Because they played good the last week of the season. They crushed the last week of the season.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't play too good against Vegas, but they won.
Yeah.
They played good against Kansas City, and they played pretty good against LA.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's the Bengals. They are not what you all thought.
Yeah.
They could still win the division, but I think this division's Baltimore's, especially after some of the moves
Oh, it's definitely Baltimore's.
And
it's definitely Baltimore.
I don't think they beat Baltimore.
Oh, that was the other trade.
Yeah, they got...
Who did they get? Oh, my God. They got a linebacker. Didn't they?
Did they get Roquan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
they
right.
Got Roquan.
They're the ones that got Roquan Smith. Yeah. You're right. That wasn't on trade deadline day, though. That was just before. That was just before.
So, and I can't ring the victory sirens yet, but I'm the only one that picked Baltimore to win this division.
Yes, you're right. I picked the Bengals.
It's time can still tell. The Bengals aren't
the Steelers. Oh, I just remembered that. Yikes.
That was for his wife. Hey there, Miss Coleman. How you doing, girl? You taking care of a big baby right now, aren't you?
Probably crying. Got a little sniffle.
Well, so you got to be careful. You never know about, with COVID. Everyone not saying Jay had COVID, but he says he's got a sore throat. He's doing the right thing. He didn't want to be here.
Yes.
He didn't want to be here. Actually, what's this incoming? We've got live internet feed from the Aaron Rodgers press conference. Aaron. Aaron Rodgers. Come on.
Well, we couldn't afford to trade for anybody.
No, come on, Aaron, stop.
We paid you,
Aaron, you're really good.
So much money.
Aaron, you're super good.
We need you to make it work with the receivers that you have.
No, I know Tom Brady doesn't need receivers when he was.
He had nobody in New England, and he won 6 Super Bowls.
It's okay. No, Aaron, stop. Aaron, Aaron, reel it in. Reel it in, Aaron. Okay, all right.
I'm glad you keep that up because my get dunked on is the Packers front office. Are you kidding me? You are. This is the worst start you've had since Aaron Rodgers took over as quarterback, and you did nothing at the deadline.
Nothing.
Not even called anybody. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you're just gonna think you're gonna be okay? Are you serious?
Yeah, rough.
You have no wide receivers. None whatsoever.
Christian
Watson. Gone.
What about everybody's favorite?
Romeo Doubs can't catch anything. He did have a nice touchdown catch, so I'll give him that one.
Unlimited.
What about Sammy Watkins?
Who?
What about the Lazard?
Who?
What about Big Bob?
Who?
What they surely use A.J. Dillon, right?
Who? Aaron Jones, one of the best running backs in the league. Probably top 10. He's not one of them.
No, 15.
15, yeah.
I think A.J. Dillon's better than Aaron Jones. I
still think that, too. I can't believe they don't use him in the way that they should use him. And I'm so blown away.
Well, they're paying, he's a top 5 paid running back.
He is. And I just cannot believe that they didn't do anything at the trade deadline to make the team better.
But Adam,
are you kidding me?
Their division didn't add any pass catchers on the trade deadline, did they?
Oh.
Chicago?
Chicago made a trade
for a pass catcher.
Yeah.
What about
Chase Claypool?
What about the Vikings?
Vikings got a top 5 tight end.
Easy on that one, but maybe. Yeah, fair.
Potentially, he's been top 5.
Yeah,
so I'll give him top 10.
The Lions got rid of one.
The Lions, right? But they're getting Jameson Williams back soon.
Allegedly,
whatever. But
that's not actually looking too promising.
It's not. I know that they're saying that it could be the whole season. That's okay though. But I don't even have any words anymore. I'm so out of words for the Green Bay Packers organization. I'm just gonna leave it at get dunked on.
Yeah, it's been a rough one, and do I feel sorry for Aaron Rodgers? No,
not even a little bit.
No,
he did this to himself.
And I said this for years. I didn't know who it was, Aaron Rodgers or Davante Adams, because all he did is hyper focus on him. Now I realize it was Aaron Rodgers because
he doesn't have that guy to hyper focus on though.
But Tom Brady. I know he's got great weapons now, and he's having a down season
now.
But he never did. He had Randy Moss for a couple years. Guy's been in the league 20-something years.
Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl with New England.
No, they did in 07. Oh, no, they lost. You're right.
You're
right. But that was their biggest season ever, I'm saying.
Correct, yes.
Like number-wise. But other than that, he was getting shit done.
Quarterback to wide receiver number.
With slot guys.
You mean to tell me that Wes Welker was better than Davante Adams? Was Julian Edelman better than Davante Adams? You cried?
Danny Amendola? Who was their best receiver a couple years? Oh, it must have been Edelman.
Gronk?
Well, he got it done with tight ends.
He had 2 tight ends.
You got a nice big tight end, Bobby. Why don't you use him? You were lighting Bobby Tunyon up 2 years ago.
I have no words left for the Green Bay Packers organization, and I'm sorry, Packers Nation, that they're doing this to you guys because I follow a lot of those guys on Twitter. Some of their fans are fun as shit.
They were not bad. At the stadium or anything.
Listen, I didn't go to the game, but I tailgated in many lots.
Did you?
Right?
Did you?
Yeah.
We couldn't tell because you weren't on the Fantasy Football Bros blog.
I wasn't. I was
too fucking busy.
I was pulling in.
Mr. fucking Rockstar, every tailgate. He's showing up to every tailgate. Do you know my brother, country music?
Every tailgate, except for the one I was supposed to be at.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, all the Packers fans, cool shit.
Yeah, they were cool.
I didn't have a problem with that. I literally, the guy I was talking about last week is a Packers fan.
Yeah.
I was at his tailgate.
The one you don't know why was from Syracuse.
He's from Albany.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't know why.
I don't know why he's a Packers fan. Yeah. But I don't know why he's from Albany either. It's weird. Anyway, so Packers fans, I'm so sorry that they did this to you. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is good. Is he that good? I think we're seeing who Aaron Rodgers really is, but he's also 39 or 38.
I'll tell you what, he did throw some dimes.
He threw some good balls, and that Romeo Doubs catch was ridiculous. I didn't think he was going to catch it.
That no-name receiver touchdown at the end, that was nice.
He made an adjustment to catch that. I think who did he catch that over? Dane? I think it was Dane. Either way, no more. I have no more words for the Packers.
I'll tell you what. As an Aaron Rodgers hater, but also a rosterer in Aaron Rodgers in the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast League, he's back in my starting lineup this week because A, he's playing Detroit, so that should be house money.
You hope so.
And B, he made some throws in that game that made me think maybe he unlocked something a little more. Not thinking they're going to go on a tear and win, but he made some throws towards the end of that game that I'm like, all right, the dude still got it.
Make sure you pick up Sammy Watkins too.
No, actually, no, because the one guy has all the Saints and Sammy Watkins.
Oh, beautiful.
And he told me, he's like, I'll make some trades, just no Saints. I'm like, well, then.
Yeah, then we're done.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done here.
Because that's your whole team. Yeah, Joe, I'm calling you out.
He sits in 8th, so he should probably
and he's
make
playing
a trade
me this week.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll trade you Darren Waller. I'm like, I have Travis Kelce.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm all set, bro.
How about Alvin Kamara?
Whew.
I'll take him.
I think that was a show-off game. I think they were trying to trade him.
I agree.
Because
they were too.
They showed him off. Do you know how many touchdowns he had in that game?
3.
Do you know how many touchdowns he has in the season now?
3.
Yeah, no. On the season, he has 3 now.
No, I thought he had.
I think he went into the game with 0.
I thought he had 0 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Well, either way, now he's
he had 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown.
Here's a fun stat I found out too that I want to bring up. How many touchdowns does Justin Jefferson have?
I don't think he has any on the season.
It's 1.
Or is it 1?
He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1.
Week 1. Okay, that's right.
But he's had some monster games in that.
He is the equivalent of Julio Jones. He would score. He would catch a lot, get a ton of yards.
True.
Never have a touchdown.
Don't kibosh him like that, though.
No, I don't compare him to Julio. He's better than Julio Jones.
Woo! After 2 years,
he's better than Julio Jones.
Wow, Julio Jones, mind you,
he had
is
a great
a
career.
Hall of Famer.
I agree.
So
100% agree.
Who's better, Julio Jones or AJ Green?
Julio Jones.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he had the better quarterback his whole career, though.
Julio?
I mean, Julio had the better quarterback. So
over Carson Palmer.
Well, he's more shackled to Andy Dalton.
True.
Because
he got some Carson Palmer years in there, though.
No, if anything, it might just been one. Because Carson Palmer, remember, this is forgotten. Andy Dalton's rookie year, 2012 or 2011. Either way, it was Andy Dalton's rookie year. Carson Palmer held out.
And
got traded to the Raiders halfway through the season.
You're right.
And the reason I remember that, so it might have been actually, I think it was AJ Green's rookie year, and then the next year they drafted Dalton.
Okay.
But what it was, and the reason I know this is that I'm a Raiders fan.
Right.
I also have a Carson Palmer Raiders jersey, but
nice.
I went to that. It was 2011. I'll tell you exactly. It was 2011. Bills versus Cincinnati in Cincinnati game.
Oh, no kidding.
And then Carson Palmer was sitting out. I remember that. And it was Marcel Darius' rookie year.
Okay.
It was one of our first few games of the season, and we lost that game.
I remember that game.
Because a fucking no-name white running back, Brian Leonard, ran all over us that fucking game. I remember that. Oof. And I also remember that the Cincinnati Bengals back then, maybe this is why I have such a bad taste in my mouth for the Bengals. But
this could be.
The Cincinnati,
now we're getting to the source of the problem.
The Cincinnati Bengals had the worst touchdown song I've ever fucking heard in my life. Let me pull it up here. Okay, so 2021, that's not it. It's not one of these new ones. Back at this point, it was this old ass fucking song. Let me see if it's this one. Let's see. Let's see if it's this.
Bengal crawling, mean and angry. Here he comes a crawling, lean and hungry, and offensive brutes, but has no boots.
Wow.
And defensively he's rough.
They play this at games.
Every fucking touchdown that white Brian Leonard scored.
That's the team we're gonna cheer to victory.
It's still going.
You can hear it.
Touchdown Bengals, get the points upon that board and win a game for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Why don't I remember that?
Bro.
Yeah.
That was the worst. So this could be like a lot of stemming anger I have towards the fucking Bengals, man.
I guess so.
But like, how did we even get on that tangent?
You were shitting on the Bengals.
I know we were on something else.
Oh, we were dunking on Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. We got.
You brought up the stat about Justin Jefferson.
And there's no touchdowns.
And there's no touchdown. One touchdown since week 1. But monster games.
Here's a question.
You asked who was better, Julio Jones or AJ Green.
I know we just got on a tangent. Here's a question. Oh, you didn't answer, but you're still sticking with
I still
Julio.
think Julio Jones is better.
Okay, that's fair.
AJ Green scored a lot of touchdowns.
He had a lot.
Like
of
I said, Julio just was that guy. Listen, Julio Jones was a fantasy king back.
So was AJ Green.
AJ Green was as well, but
AJ Green was like a first round.
But AJ Green would be like 4 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. Julio Jones would be like 12 receptions for 193 yards and no touchdowns.
True.
So that was the difference there. But I don't know. I guess if you're comparing the two, if you want to go stat wise, it's probably AJ Green. But I think just Julio Jones was a better player overall.
They're both Hall of Famers.
I agree with that.
Here's a question. How many receptions on the year does Gabriel Davis have?
Ooh, less than 30, less than 20,
16.
Yeah,
I think. Crazy, and we think he's good. So we don't need. So we got him having 16. We don't need Odell Beckham, right? Because we like Gabriel Davis.
I still like.
Come on, Bills fans.
Listen, I would listen if they want to sign.
Be better, Bills
Odell
fans.
Beckham. I am.
Just be better, Bills fans. Just be better. Just don't be. Just Bills fans. Stop being dumb. Just be better.
All right, let's see. Reception.
Odell Beckham will make our team better. He will.
4, 3, 7, 8.
He will be better.
11. Yeah, 16, right?
Yeah. So he will be better.
Yeah, I agree.
He will make our team better, Odell
100%.
Beckham. So let us get Odell Beckham.
I agree.
Please.
Brandon Beane said today somebody asked him about the possibility of signing Odell Beckham, and Brandon Beane said something along the lines of he'd be crazy to not look at the option of signing Odell Beckham.
A 29-year-old former nearly NFL MVP.
Yep.
At receiver.
Totally agree.
Insanity if you don't do it.
Agreed.
Insanity. You have anything else you want to bring up?
I think I'm okay.
We almost made it to an hour.
We did pretty good. Yeah, not bad.
Jay, how about you?
Oh.
Hey, what about you?
Pickles on my pickles.
No?
The pickles.
You know what we didn't get to say today? There's a lot of
bye weeks this week.
You know who I got a double bye from?
Yikes.
Well, I don't know if it's a double bye, but his trading week, he didn't get much. And then he's on a bye. So he gets traded, has a fucking
like 8
monster week. Monster
8
week.
points the first week.
And then gets, yeah.
Insane week last week.
Throws, runs, and
catches.
for the first player since whom?
2005 from Daniel Thompson.
Crazy. And that's one of the greatest fantasy football players of all time.
Yeah.
A lot of people would put LaDainian Tomlinson as your number one overall pick fantasy football. You're starting right now. Are you taking Daniel Tomlinson in that era?
All day long.
Are you?
Yeah.
I might go with like a 2010 Michael Vick. That's what I might start with.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, but
that's where I might go.
Yeah, I like that too,
but either way, you can't go wrong.
LaDainian Tomlinson back then?
Or what about earlier, a little earlier, Michael Vick? Or not Michael Vick, sorry, Marshall Faulk?
I wouldn't take him number 1 overall, though. First round, for
Tomlinson?
sure. Number 1, I'd still take Tomlinson.
I mean, that
what
could
about
be
Sean Alexander? Remember Sean?
Nah, he's not up there, though. He's not up there.
I think he was.
For me.
I think I'm in a league. I think he went number 1 overall.
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson was up there.
You know who was a number 1 overall pick once in fantasy football? Here's the name that you're going to laugh at. And he was the consensus number 1 overall pick. Jonathan Taylor. No. Michael Turner.
Ooh,
Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Sometimes you get farts like that, and guess what? That might be Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Remember though, we all, and you didn't pick him, but I'm just saying in general, you might have picked him in the league. But Jonathan Taylor, you have to pick number 1 because Christian McCaffrey's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't matter. Christian McCaffrey's going to be hurt. Jonathan Taylor is on a great team, and he's not going to be hurt.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing with fantasy. You can't, but we say this all the time. You can't let injuries deter you from
and
drafting a guy, but it does.
And it did. It did
when
for
it
Jay.
happens every single week.
Well, it did for Jay, and it did
Yes.
for you because you would have took Taylor first, I believe you said.
Yeah, I definitely would have.
I never once said. I said I'm going McCaffrey or Henry. And as of now, halfway through the season, I'm right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just it is what it is, and it's like
of course you don't know that he's not going to run for 18. I mean, I didn't think he was going to run for 1,800 yards again, but I thought he was going to do better.
But if you're picking,
then, of course,
if you're picking first in fantasy football, are you picking? You're going for safety? Like no, you're going to win the league.
You pick. No, I mean, who was the leading rusher 2 years ago?
Derrick Henry. This is the last 3-4 years.
Right, and guess who goes first overall in those years?
Derrick Henry. So why didn't he this pick? Because he got hurt.
He got hurt, and then Jonathan Taylor was the rushing leader.
Sure.
Jonathan Taylor goes first. Just the way it goes in fantasy football.
Actually, no. We said Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry I don't think ever went first. It's been Christian the last few years.
In any leagues that... Well, when Christian McCaffrey's healthy,
last year he was first overall.
But when Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 yards, he went first overall in every league that I drafted.
I don't even know if he did. I think Christian still might have, but still, in general, and things could change. But it's just like
at least in my leagues,
it's just like I was very steadfast on Christian being first overall because he's the GOAT.
But he's on a better team now.
But he was still putting up numbers.
Yeah,
And it is what it is. And I'm just kind of dunking on the Jonathan Taylor stance because I was not for it. And it's not me saying he sucks. I would have taken him over Eckler. He probably would have been my third. And I would still be wrong.
Yeah. See, I would, I don't know. I don't hate my pick of Eckler, though.
No, you can't. He's doing great, too. No. So I agree.
It's a toss-up, though.
You guys left me Christian McCaffrey at 5.
I know.
I couldn't believe it.
I left Justin Jefferson at 4.
Well, you left Christian McCaffrey at 4.
That's true too.
Like that's what I'm saying.
But I would have taken Eric. It's country music superstar Eric Van Houten took Cooper Kupp number 2.
That's happened in another league.
And I took Eckler at 3. I'm still happy with Eckler over. I would have taken Jefferson for sure, but Eckler is fine. Yeah. He catches a lot. He has multi-score games.
I'm happy with Christian. So
okay, I like my squad.
He needed a little love.
Yeah, he's got a better team now.
He had a hell of a.
He's on the bye week.
He's resting up. Coming back healthy.
Coming healthy.
He's gonna be a hell of a
Jimmy
weapon.
G.
Oh.
It's unfortunate that your boy Trey got hurt week 2.
Imagine if they had a good, dynamic quarterback that can get out of the pocket and throw down the field.
Oh, they do have that. He's just on IR.
Yeah, great. Okay, so you ready for the song of the week?
Yeah, let's get it.
The song of the week is, so I guess we're done with our spoopy time.
Yeah, spoopy time's over.
Mariah Carey. I will pick Christmas songs.
Yeah, in December.
Not
before Thanksgiving.
I disagree, but I won't pick any. It's a new release from one of my favorite bands, Stryper. Old school 80s metal band. Robbie Vegas, a big fan of Stryper. They just released a new album called the Final Battle or something, whatever. But the first song on the album is called Transgressor. Fan-fucking-tastic. So Transgressor from Stryper is going to be your song of the week. Jay's going to hate it.
Probably. Jay hates a lot of things.
It's got the 80s metal vibe. Jay, relax.
Quiet down over there.
Come on. Stop, Jay.
I didn't even put you on camera today.
It's got the 80s metal vibe. Michael Sweet sounds amazing. The guitar solo's great.
Very cool.
That's it. So, Adam, thank you for joining us.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me.
Pickles, thank you for coming.
Pickles, all my pickles.
Russell, you there?
A little
All right. We got to check in with Pat.
Kermit the Frog here.
All right, man. Good to see you. Yep. Well, thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Later, guys.
Hey there, little fella.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.